Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with the conclusion for part 1 of Undeadwood. I'm gonna start from like 2 or 3 minutes into where we ended, because I want to re-listen to what was going on. I'm gonna try to remember as best I can everything right now. We're gonna recap it really quickly, and then we'll jump in, and then we'll talk more at the end. There's only about 15 minutes left. There was about 10 or 12 minutes left when we jumped into the episodes of Vox Machina. What happened was, we were supposed to have a good 2 hours to finish the last hour and a half. We were doing a live stream and my dad's cardiologist was like 30-40 minutes late for his appointment, so I ended up having to miss the last 10 minutes so I could go and react to the newest episodes of Vox Machina. They drop every Thursday at 7 my time, at least. Last we saw on this, I am not exactly sure on what is going on, but Al sends us on sort of a recon mission where we're going to investigate this area where all these people were, this mining area, and we're supposed to come back and tell them what we saw. So what we see is tons of dead bodies. Everyone is dead. I don't think there is a single survivor. At least we did not see any. There were dead bodies all around a pit and then more dead bodies in a pit. There were snakes that came out of this pit, came out through the ground and appeared to be controlled by something or working together. I don't know what was going on, but we killed one of them. We used fire from the lanterns. We scared the others away. One of them grabbed the injured one and scurried away. So they think it's not like they're just crazy, radical, violent creatures. Maybe they are that too, but they knew to take their compadre and bring him back with them. And it seems like they're way more intelligent than they should be. We also, at the very, very end, find out that we're seeing black spots, and I feel like a character or somebody came to us, and that's kind of where we were talking about, oh, the episodes dropped and we cut it there. So I stopped kind of paying attention, so that's why I'm also rewinding it. Something was approaching them, or a person or something, and they were losing their vision. It was getting all foggy, and that was how we ended it. As far as the other things I want to talk about, I just want to brush up on the characters real quick. So we have the Reverend. First off, I don't trust anybody. I don't think you can in this, but if I had to trust people, we're going to start with that, because I don't trust anybody. But if I had to go in order of who I trust, I'm going to go through the roster real quick. We got the Reverend, who I don't really trust. The guy's got scars on his face. He just wanders into town. It could be one of those deals like you see in Westerns all the time where he wants to try to build faith in the town, and Deadwood is like an up-and-coming town, and that's where he's got to go because no one else wants him, kind of thing. But I don't know. I don't trust him. The scars and everything I don't know. It gives me a bad impression. We got Mariam, who I believe has a husband, and seems like she's intelligent. I mean, the character and the person playing the character, but it seems like she's an intelligent character. She has come in handy as far as, I feel like she's playing the woman card, but it's the West. So like, obviously you got to play it the way you got to play it. And I feel like she is using it to her advantage. Then we have Marisha, who most importantly came to town because her sister died. And I feel like her sister might be directly connected, or at least involved in what is going on. What are the odds her sister just died and she comes into town and now there's like this violent, murderous scene that we see, and we're obviously seeing like some sort of demonic creatures or something like that. So clearly something's up with that. And I can't help but assume that her sister's death has some connection to all of that. I don't know if Marisha's character knows that, but I feel like it's got to have something to do with it. Then we got Matt Mercer, who's been in town the longest, and he's sort of security and he's well known. And then we have Mr. Fogg, who is Ezekiel from The Walking Dead, and he has a hitch in his step and he's walking with a gimp. I don't trust him either. I don't think his gimp is real. I don't think his limp is for real. I think he is faking it, and I think he is more intelligent than he comes off as a character, because in the beginning he goes and hooks up with all these hookers, and I'm thinking, what the hell is that going to do? Like, you're wasting all this time. But then he starts asking them questions, and that kind of was smart, because if you're paying girls money back then, they probably would know the most of what was going on, at least in the background, that would maybe tell you for $1 or $2. So, hey, that was kind of intelligent. Maybe there's more than meets the eye with him. So I'm jumping in. You guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited reactions to all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, and hundreds of exclusives, the Patreon links at the end. We'll probably do another live stream to finish part 2 once I actually get on it. We'll have to talk about that when that happens, but here we go, guys. This is the part 1 conclusion of Undeadwood.
You start to suddenly see small black spots appearing in your vision.
Black spots in the vision. This is what I last remember.
That seem to grow larger and larger and larger. And as you're standing there, beginning to feel yourselves losing your vision, your breath starts to slow down. You get very dizzy. The black spots are getting larger and larger and larger. And all of you fall unconscious to the ground.
Like, is it a gas or something that's affecting them? Or is there way more going on in this? Supernatural-wise.
You see nothing, you hear nothing for a few moments.
There's kitties all over me.
It's completely still. You're not aware of your surroundings in any way, shape, or form. In the void of light and consciousness, you feel in your mind a figure approaching.
I feel like I started hearing this.
Long, narrow, and massive.
Long and narrow, and is it the Grim Reaper?
You don't see it, but you sense its presence. And it speaks to you in your mind's eye. It says, "This land is poisoned with distinction. It's in the air. It's in the dirt. It's in the water and the fire. Give unto me your souls, and I will grant you power." The dealer will see you now.
Give me your souls and I'll grant you power, but...
Suddenly you see flashes of white.
Why?
It's the darkness, pulsating. After several beats of this, a silhouette of a dealer appears before you. His face has no features, it's blank. You see his face and you see his hands, and nothing else. You see the dealer deals out 5 cards to you, Arabella, and you see this. Fog, you see this.
All right.
Clayton, you see this. Reverend Mason, you see this. Miriam, you see this.
We have a straight, a royal straight.
You hear the familiar voice again come back and say, "You decide the fate of this land." It says nothing else, and the image of the dealer and the cards fades from your mind's eye as you awake back to consciousness.
What do the cards mean, though?
Reverend Mason, while you were unconscious, besides the vision that you saw, what did you dream about?
I saw a stampede of horses. I saw some men astride those horses, wounded, bleeding.
What?
I saw the moon above as I thundered through the night on my own horse. I saw the wilderness and barren townscapes as I moved through them. And I saw a chapel with a preacher in front of it.
What is...
Bella, what did you dream about?
I saw thick, black smoke billowing out from a train. Skeletal figures in the smoke, being overcome by disease, eating at their flesh.
But...
And the smoke from the train turns to smoke from a church. Visions of my sister's eyes before they decay away.
Miriam, what did you dream about?
I dreamt about a small...
I'm trying to take all this in, and then we'll talk.
makeshift encampment, almost like a shed, a tiny shed.
It's interesting that they're all allowed to say what they dreamed of. Because it could be totally...
Running from the fire, even though it felt like it was right behind me. And at one point I turned behind me and I stopped and I saw that it was a church on fire instead, a church all aflame.
See, why are they all focusing on the church? Were they told to, or they all just decided or agreed in this moment?
A bolt of lightning. Screaming from a burning church. Screaming or singing. I couldn't tell which. There's a person inside singing or screaming, I can't tell which. But a burning church.
Clayton, what did you dream about?
I dreamt of arriving at an unfamiliar city. Walking through a main street as every person in the town turns at once to face me.
Like one of those dreams.
All eyes on me.
I know that
Unblinking,
dream.
Unblinking.
I mean, I haven't had it, but they talk about it all the
I
time.
try to hide, they follow, and they point.
He looks genuinely
Try and
spooked.
flee the town. There he stands.
Who? The guy, the dealer?
As you all come back to consciousness, there are no
Wait.
snakes around you.
We don't ask who? They're he? What is the dealer?
Fire has gone out completely. It's now the middle of the night.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
The scene is still and quiet, much more than when you got there and much more than when you fell asleep. Those whose horses survived the stampede are still tied up by the trees. As you look down at your feet, as you come to consciousness, you see your gun that was thrown into the pit back at your feet, and the cap on it is no longer burned.
Did we just sell our soul to the devil or something without even having an option?
Absolutely.
Immediately relight my lamp.
Absolutely.
Is everyone all right?
Define all right.
That's a real good question. I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
I look at the moon. How far in the sky is it? Can I kind of deduce what time it might be in the middle of the night?
I would say, for the purposes of this, it's high moon.
Oh my God, you cheese ball. I think
knew I
Matt
got
is
one.
disgusting.
I'm in this outfit. I would say the moon is
How could
high,
you
it's
not?
nearly full.
It's got to be midnight. Judging by how far it is off the horizon, being this close to the equinox. I pull open my kit and I pull out some sage and I light it and I start burning it. And in the dust,
I know sage is like
throw
a
stick nearby and I start drawing out
thing.
the all-seeing eye.
A spiritual thing, religious thing, spirit
Just
thing.
Any type of additional protection. I mean, don't get me wrong, Reverend. I'm sure the good Lord is in our good favor,
But we can use all the help we can get.
exactly.
The Lord is our shepherd, but I have never seen anything like those things. What were they?
Can we get back to the city? To the town?
What were the snakes? I want to know what the hell the
Hours away. and-
dream was with the
Well,
dealer.
if you double up, you got enough horses for everybody.
I mean, I want to know the snakes too, but
Are we sure any of that actually happened? I mean, my
That's-
gun, it got
yeah.
it got pulled into the pit, and it's here, and it
Pretty
looks
sure
like it
unless
hasn't
we
even-
all had the exact same vision. Something happened.
Yeah.
The question is have we been given a second chance? I mean, whatever it is knocked us out and left us here, and now we're fine. What did that thing say to you? It said that we had something to do with this land being
Greed. No.
Poison.
Poisoned.
by greed.
Yeah, greed.
we had something to do with the land's salvation. Was it
So
not right?
we all had the same.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
I saw a dealer. Did anyone else see?
He
a
was
dealer?
just assuming they all had it, or one of them was just. It hasn't been confirmed they all had the same dream.
toss out the 2 expended shells and replace them to reload the guns and walk.
See, I think
aggressively
Matt's
towards the
trying to
enemy,
play the
not too close,
game
but just
like
back
they
in and
should.
see
Like,
what-
oh, so we had the
whatever
same dream.
lantern is
Confirm.
available, and try and just see if what we saw originally is still within there.
It is. Some of the bodies are more charred than before because there was still some underfire going on there, and just the heat and everything. But everything else looks the same.
The thing is, it said, give me
Whatever
your
was
souls and I'll
entirely
give you
vision,
power or
these
something.
Things are still
They didn't make a
there.
choice.
So take solace in the knowledge that that fuckery's still around.
Can I try and heal myself, spend a chip to get rid of this wound, because it's the middle of the fucking night,
You
and
can.
we're gonna have to go somewhere to get rid of it.
Well, before you do that,
For my high moon joke, sir.
For my high
What do I
take-
do with this shot glass? Just put it to the side?
You are no longer wounded. The bartender will come pick that up.
Okay, good deal.
Your horses, as you can see,
deal.
you start to hear them neighing, and you can see the
Okay.
horses are getting a little bit restless, tied up at the trees.
I'd really like to get back. or
Did
at
he
least
take a
arm
shot?
this
I didn't
horse
see him
and get out of
take it.
here.
I concur.
Okay.
well, what are we going to tell Mr. Swearingen? I have a feeling he was looking for a tangible reason for
Yeah.
issues at this mine. Are we going to
Al will probably be like, are you all fucking mental?
demonic snake creatures?
Yeah.
Is
Maybe.
the reason?
I mean, there's no sign.
I mean, they could just say, we got there and there is dozens of dead
We
bodies.
could take a corpse back.
Over a dozen,
Yeah,
yeah.
what happened last time I tried to do that, though?
Nothing.
That's what's
That's-
making me a little fucking nervous.
Yep.
We can figure out our story as soon as we get out of here. I would just as soon be as far away from these creatures and closer to town.
You don't want to throw a body over the back of a horse for our ride in. I mean, it'll go a lot further than just our word.
I'll tell you what. Are the human bodies still around?
I don't know
Yeah,
if I
the
want.
horses that are on the outside of the pit are still there.
I guess bring one back so it could turn into a zombie later.
Man who's inside of his mouth was destroyed. too.
Oh my!
Oh, Clayton.
You cut off the head, and you now have
All right, hey, that's
a dead
safe.
miner's head.
How long is his hair?
He's got short hair.
All right.
Is there a longer?
He's got short hair. He's got short hair, and he's got short hair, and he's clean shaven. Yeah.
I really would have preferred the. Did you have?
You want to grab one of them snakes?
No.
Be my guest. I ain't going the back in
Here,
there.
let me.
I mean, hey, that's the safe
there any
way.
snake
If they even do come to
carcasses
life,
around?
it ain't
The
chasing
only
you.
snake
said no.
carcasses that remain are inside the pit.
Or in the pit.
Any other ones that were outside the pit, the live ones disappeared back into the ground, taking with them any dead or wounded.
I feel like that head is all the evidence we need.
That'll serve. We should go.
I'll toss it in the sack that the guns were
Absolutely.
originally delivered to me into. And
I mean, you don't have
toss it in the
forensic
back.
teams back then. You don't need a snake skin to say you saw demon snakes.
Can I ride with you?
Hop on, lady.
All right.
I mean, honestly, they probably don't even need the dead body, but I'll take a head as long as it can't attack us zombie-wise.
Decorum be fucking damned.
Yes.
Are you two double up on the horse again?
We are.
Okay.
Do you have good riding skill, or do you just have one?
It's decent. It's just D4. Yeah.
Okay, then we're in the same boat.
You two are doubled up, and you are doubled up with the head of a dead Irishman.
I am.
As you guys leave this terrifying
You're
scene,
doubled up with the
start your make
head
your
of
way
a
back
dead
through.
Irishman.
You decide to circumvent the narrow canyon this time.
Great idea.
You have a very peaceful, quiet trip back. Once you crest the final hill over where the graveyard is, and you can see the town of Deadwood, you see something unusual, which is most of the street lanterns that haven't been stolen are lit. In the distance, you see all this light coming from the town. It seems odd for those of you who've spent some time there that usually there's just one or two. Town's lit up like there's something happening. And as you get closer, you start to hear the familiar crackling sound of gunfire
what?
start to echo up the hills at you.
What?
God damn it.
As you get closer, you start to feel faint again, but not seeing the spots. You just start to slow down. Your horses sense something happening, and your horses slow down.
What?
And as you sort of group up together and you're each sort of sensing the same thing, your vision goes black. And you hear the voice once more tell you, how do you want to dispel your hate? You have access to power.
What?
Let's play a game. Your vision comes back to you. And suddenly, within you, you start to feel this arcane energy pulsating through your blood, your heart, your brain.
All of them?
You look
What?
at each other and everyone sort of looks like they've just taken 5 cups of coffee and everyone looks amped. And you can see glowing around each of you this blue-green sort of hue. It's faint, it's not lighting up the valley, but you can see it around each of the other ones of you. And as you try to take each other in and you're feeling this sort of tingling sensation, you look down at your hands and you can see light sort of going through each of your fingers as if
So
there
they've
was
been
ink
bestowed
through
like
each of
some
your veins translucently.
power?
And you can feel within you some sort of strength that you didn't have before. And as you look at each other and notice that everyone's having the same exact reaction to whatever this thing said to you, that's where we're gonna end our first.
I hate him. I hate him. Where is this going? I did not see this at all. That's it. It literally just ends right there. All right, guys. So they weren't lying. They just ended it right there. They didn't even like talk or anything. I thought they were going to go, all right, so next time we meet, we're going to blah, 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 blah. Maybe do like a little recap. I'm wondering how they do part 2. Maybe part 2 has a bit of a recap. All I know is this is a format where they don't waste a whole lot of time. I've seen bits and pieces of campaign models where they did for one, where I've seen comparisons to things in the Legend of Vox Machina as compared to the actual campaign. And it is a very slow roll, but I like that. I mean, you see everything that happens. This seems much more scripted in the sense of it being like organized is what I mean, I guess. Like the show is scripted, not like the campaign, but even that, I mean, the Dungeon Master himself has something he's following, but I mean like the show, I feel like the organization of everything going on, and you don't see a whole lot of rolls. We didn't see our first roll in this till like 40 minutes to an hour in to the 2-hour first part. And then even then, I think we only saw rolls maybe 4 or 5 times. I can remember rolls being done. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more going on in the actual campaigns when they're doing their critical role stuff. This is just something I think they kind of did for fun. But, all right. I rewatched part of it, and as I was watching it, I started remembering, okay, I did see this. The problem was when we watched this live, I kept running back and forth to Amazon Prime to make sure I didn't miss the release of the new episodes. So there is a lot of it I was kind of like not really paying attention to. That's why I did rewind it 3 minutes. But the last thing I really remembered was the snakes running away. They're in like this quicksand like stuff that sinks them back into the ground. They grab the weak and wounded and killed of their kind and go back down. That's the last I remembered. But then as we were watching it, I'm like, wait, I do remember this. They got dealt cards, and it's sort of like this shadowy figure, like a Grim Reaper, I'm assuming maybe, but I don't know. Did they die? Because I feel like they're assuming a lot of things, and it seems like Matt Mercer is trying to jump in there and be like, yo guys, you gotta confirm these things, stop assuming. Like in the one scene, he's like, oh, you had a dream too? Because like no one confirmed that, and I started thinking that, but I'm like, maybe I'm missing things, or maybe I don't know. Sometimes I miss things. So I'm thinking maybe I didn't pick up on it. But no, Matt, I think, was making it a point to be like, guys, we just can't assume we all had the dream. Just because Brian is telling us and we're all hearing that we all had the same dream, we have to confirm to each other that we did, because our characters don't know we all did. It's in our heads. We're seeing it in our mind's eye. He kept going back to that, saying it's not really there. It's in your mind's eye. So Matt is trying to help them catch up, I think. I feel like Travis and Marisha should pick up on that quick too. Like Matt is the Dungeon Master, so I feel like he follows protocol more often than not. But I feel like Marisha and Travis should have been on top of that too. Like, yeah, we don't know we had the same dream. Maybe they're so caught up in the excitement, because Brian's dishing it out pretty good. He's making it very exciting the way he's unraveling everything. I'm not just going to assume they were dying. What the hell exactly happened? They fought the snakes went away, they snuck back in the ground or sunk back into the dirt or whatever. They start seeing spots, their vision goes out, and this guy appears and says, I will give you power if you give me your souls. It's a dealer, he gives them cards. Now they're cards. They had a royal straight. As the cards were coming out, I'm going to myself, they're getting a royal straight. They got an ace, they get a joker, then there's a king, then a queen, then a jack. I'm like right off the bat, as soon as I saw the ace and the joker, I'm like, they're getting a royal straight. But why? Why are they getting all face cards? Why are they getting a royal straight? What significance is that? I don't know, because they didn't choose. That was the other thing. It said, give me your soul and I'll give you power. None of them made a choice. They just woke up, and now they go down this hill. They throw a body, or no, they don't throw a body. Matt Mercer's like, we ain't taking a body, I'm taking a head. They're all kind of arguing like, should we take a body? Should we take a head? Should we take a snake? This and that. Matt Mercer's like, no, head, boop, chops the head off. And we are going downhill. Now we see Deadwood in the distance, lit up by lanterns. We hear gunfire as we get closer, and then we go black out again. And now a voice says, how do you want to dispel your hate? And we are embodied with power that is glowing through our bodies, like arcane type power, they said. What the hell is going on? I thought we were going to be in like a zombie apocalypse or something, but dealing with the world of Deadwood. Now we have demonic snakes, which appear to have brains because they're doing things and thinking logically, strategically, like banding together, helping their wounded, not leaving behind damaged ones. I have to assume they're being controlled by somebody, because how would they be smart enough to pick up the remains of the dead and the wounded and stuff like that? I feel like they picked up the dead so we couldn't take them back and examine them. But then what the hell is the thing that gave us the power? If the snakes were trying to attack us and they didn't succeed, then what the hell blacked us out that made us be embodied with this power that we didn't even ask for? It didn't even give us an option. It just said, give me your soul. You get this thing. Oh, here you go. You got this thing. Like we didn't choose. What the heck was that? But we get ahead, we're riding down, we black out again, and now we're glowing. I mean, Kari said it best. He was like, I don't even know what the hell's going on. Then he's saying, what did you dream about? Did I miss something there? I was going to go back and look, but I'd rather you guys just tell me because it's good for conversation in the comments. But did I miss something? Why all of a sudden after that was Brian like, now what did you dream? They all had a dream and they could all just tell whatever they want in that dream. Why did all of their dreams focus around a church? Were they just being cooperative and being like, hey, let's all just band around this church idea? I don't know. Did Brian say it had to involve a church? Or is the fact that the church was burned in Deadwood factoring into all this? I just think it was awfully convenient that all of them dreamt of the church. Like they all hear what each other are dreaming. They could have changed it up, or one of them could have not mentioned the church at all. And some of them got a lot deeper than others. I mean, Marisha was like, I see the eyes of my sister and the burning church and the smoke of the train and the flesh eating things. She was saying about flesh eating things, which is zombies and stuff like that. But maybe she didn't know the direction Brian was going off into, because he doesn't seem like he's going into zombies yet. If he is going in there, if he is getting into that, it doesn't seem like he is right now. And they're all glowing with power. I don't know what is happening. Is it like an I Am Legend thing where they're like super strong, powerful zombie killer things? I don't know what the hell's going on. All I know is part 2 is almost 3 hours long. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to chop that up. You guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited reactions to all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, and hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link's in front. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.